Number 2 says determine the z-score for which the area under the standard normal curve to its left is 0.01. So what is that, a tail or a body? It's a tail, okay? Tail measurements have to be less than 0.5, okay? Have to be less than 0.5. That represents tails. Anything greater than 0.5 would be considered a what? And I can't spell. Body. Okay? So you do know that everything in measurement form on the table has four place values. So if you just have 0.1, you do know it's understood to have two more zeros behind it. Okay? So that's what you're looking for. It's like 0.0100. That's what we're looking for on the table. 0.0100. I know you don't.
0.0985, can you round that?
Huh?
0.0985, can that round to be 0.0?
Where do you see 0.0985?
985 is 1.29.
1.29?
No, because I'd round up to.
Okay, that's not the same thing, though. I didn't say 0.1. This is 0.01. Okay? So we should be looking at z-score. It's not on here. I mean, we all know that. It's not on here. You should be somewhere around 2.32 and 2.33. Does everyone see where we are? Okay. Now, you couldn't believe that I was going to give you z-scores that was on the table. That would be too easy. At 2.32, that tail measurement is 0.0102. And at 2.33, you have 0.0099. So technically, it would be in between these two numbers. Do you agree? Now, normally, you're going to get measurements that's not on the table. That's why I said that wouldn't be fun if they were on here. How you're going to determine which way you're going to go is you're going to go with the one that's closest to your actual measurement, okay? So when you look at the top number, it's technically, and I'm not looking at the whole decimal, I'm looking at like 100 versus 102 versus 99. Does that make sense? Because I don't get out in the logistics with the decimals. But when you look at the top number, it's two numbers off. Versus the bottom one is how many? 1, okay? So the bottom one would be closer, okay, the bottom one. So that means that we're going to go with the z-score of 2.33 because that one would be closer to 0.0100. Does that make sense? That's the process. They're not going to probably be directly on this table. So you got to find where it would fit in between and go with the one that's closest to it, okay? So does everybody understand why we're going with 2.33 as our z-score? Now, deal with left versus right. It says this is on the left side of the bell. So it's a what? A negative 2.33. That's the answer. Negative 2.33. Does that make sense? So, yeah. You don't have to draw on the bells, but that negative 2.33 would show that, yeah, if I'm saying to the left of that, it's a negative z-score. Okay? Number 3. Find the z-score that has an area of 0.75 to its left. 0.75 is obviously a what? Body. Very good. That's a body measurement. It is bigger than 0.5. That's the body. .67 and .68. At .67, we got .7486. And then at 6.8, we got .7517. So yes, .75 would be in between those two numbers. So the top one would be what? 14 numbers? And this bottom one is 17. So the top one is, you said the what? It's the closest. Good. The top one is the closest. Do y'all understand that? 14 numbers off versus 17 numbers off? Okay. Now, it says that this measurement is to the left. Does that have a negative z-score or a positive z-score? Negative? Everyone agree it's negative? It's negative?
Like the area of .75 is to the left, so the number not be positive.
Thank you, baby. Very good. Okay, now, this is a body. Body is different. Tail don't go past your line. So if I tell you it's left and it's a tail, it's on the left side. If it's right and it's a tail, it's on the right side because it don't go past the middle. However, body is big. Body has to cover the middle all the way through a tail. So if I'm telling you that technically .75 is 75% shaded. 75% of your bell has to be shaded towards the left side. That's why it says to the left. So if I got to shade that much of a mass towards the left, I had to start on the right side to go to the left side. Does that make sense? You can't be on the left and be 75%. Because remember, the middle, that represents 50. 50% shaded, either left or right. So if I said 75% is shaded towards the left, it's got to go to the left side. So my z-score technically must start over here. And I shaded 75% to the left. Do you see that? For it to be a body, that's why I want to make sure it's clear. You got to go past the middle. So in order for me to take it 75% past the middle, I had to be on the right side to start. Does that make sense? So my z-score is .67, but it's going to be a positive because you're going to be on the right side starting. Does that make sense? And kind of let it be kind of a rule of thumb when I give you a body measurement. If I say left, you on the right. You got to be the opposite. You can't be on the same side to shade that much. Does that make sense? So if I'm telling you you're 80% towards the right, then you had to start on the left side to go to the right. Does that make sense? But tail is wherever I tell you, that's where it is. It's long. Carnegie. It's on the chair. So yes, this answer is just positive 0.67. So this one is a 0.80 to the left. Is this body or tail? Body. Zero 0.84 and 0.85. At 0.84, you have 0.7995. And at 8.5, we have 0.8023. So obviously, 0.8 is going to be closer to who? 84. That's just five number difference versus 23. Very good. Now, would it be positive? Yes, because if I shade 80% to the left, I had to start it on the what? Right side. Very good. Very good. So that would be a positive 0.84. Very good. Okay. 5, you have 0.95 to the right. And so 0.95 is a body. We're still on body. One 1.64 and 1.65. 6.4 is 0.9495 and 6.5 is 0.9505. Now both of these are what? Both of these are 5 away. This is a very unique situation. Okay? Now, when they are equal distance, what you're going to do is give me the average of the z-score. Okay? Give me an average of the z-score. Do not round. Okay? So what I need is an average of the z-scores. So that means you add them up and divide by 2. Good. Add it up and divide by 2. And that would give you 1.64 what? 5. Do not round. Because if you round, you're going to tell me that's 1.65, and it's not. You follow me? I need all 3 numbers. Because that way I know anytime you see in the statistics world z-scores that have 3 numbers, that our distance was equally the same, okay? So keep it 3 numbers. Does everybody understand me? Find the average, meaning you're going to add these 2 up and then divide by 2. Add those 2 z-scores and divide by 2. Does everybody understand? Negative, why? Because you're going to go to the right side 95%. Very good. So that's a negative 1.645. Make sure you got a negative. .70 to the right. Again, .70 would be a body. Very good, a body. 0.52 and 0.53. At 0.52, you got .6985, and at 5.3 is .7019. So obviously we will be closer. This is what, 15 and 19. So we're going with .52. .52. Because if I'm doing 70% towards the right, it had to start on the left. Very good. So make sure you got negative .52. Questions? No? All right. Now, the next problems are our true applications, okay? This is where I think I mentioned on Tuesday that sometimes when we're doing, not sometimes, all the times when you're dealing with bail application problems and you are trying to put real life in bail terms, you have to convert your numbers to z-scores to fit on the bail. Because your bail only has numbers -4 to +4. Didn't we talk about that, the number line? But we only really dwell on -3 to +3. So I have to make real life fit on here. So I'm going to give you some real life problems. And we're going to have to do a little math because it's application. But first we're going to have to convert, okay, to make them z-scores. So my first couple examples is dealing with the same thing. I just start changing numbers. But it's IQ scores, okay? So it says, under where it says 6-3, number 1, it says that IQ scores are measured on a certain scale that's normally distributed with a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 16. Determine the percentage of people who have IQ scores between 115 and 140. That's what I want you to find. I want you to find the percentage of people who have an IQ between 115 and 140. All right? So my very first step is I got to convert 115 and 140 to a z-score so I can see it on the bail, so I can see where it is, okay? So you're going to convert to z-scores. How are you going to do that? This is your formula. To find a z-score, you're going to say x minus the mean. That's what that U stands for, population mean, divided by the standard deviation. X minus your mean, population mean, and I'm writing it in the symbols, divided by standard deviation. And that's the symbol for population standard deviation. Okay? So X is going to be whatever you're trying to convert. So if I'm trying to convert 115, then that will be 115 minus 100, because that's the mean, divided by the standard deviation, who is 16. Okay? That's what you are going to plug in. 115 minus 100 divided by 16. And you get .9375. Okay? Now, it's very, very important that you understand the rules of rounding. Let your table be your guide, okay? Meaning, normal z-scores, just that one little exception we had, but normal z-scores, according to your table, are how many decimals? 2. Z-score is in 2. Your measurements are in 4. Does everybody understand that? Z-score is in 2, measurement is in 4. So you're finding a z-score. So I need it to be rounded 2 decimals. Now, it's real important that you round it right, because if you don't, you're going to be on the wrong row. Does everybody understand me? So 7 makes 3 become a what? A 4. So this is 0.94. Does everyone understand that? That's real important. If you had it at 0.93, you on the wrong row, wrong measurement. Whole problem is screwed. It's got to be rounded correctly. Does everybody understand that? That's 0.94. Okay? Let's convert 140. So that's going to be 140 minus 100 divided by 16. You should get 2.5 on the dot. Okay? Now you know it has 2 decimals, so you should automatically know the last number is a 0. Okay? 2.50. That's the z-score you're looking for. Does everybody understand what we're doing? Is everybody okay? All I've done so far is convert them to fit on the bell. Because I can't stick 115 technically or 140 on there technically. Okay? We okay? Now, let me show you on the bell. Now, you might want to paint on these bells. If you didn't on the first 6, you might want to paint on these. So, try to do this as neat as possible. Oh, my line cricket. That's all right. Now, in z-score world, the middle is 0. That's technically where your mean lives. So really 100 would be in the middle. That's the mean, okay? But we're doing it in z-score terms, so that's 0. So my first z-score is what, 0.94? 0.94 would be somewhere right here. Do you agree? Okay. Give me another color. And the other one is what, 2.5? We're going to say 2.5 would be somewhere right here. Okay. Now, this is what I'm asking you for. I want to know the percentage of people that have an IQ between 115, which is your 0.94, and 140, which is your 2.5. Does everyone see that's what this means? That's your shaded area. Okay? So now I'm kind of reverting back to what we was doing on Tuesday, finding the area under the curve. The problem is this shade is not directly on this table. This table only consists of pure body, pure tail, and mean and z. Okay? So my issue is that ain't a body, that ain't a tail, because the tail's not shaded all the way. And it's really not a mean and z, because your mean is at 0. Does everybody understand me? So I have a gap. Does everybody, that's my issue. You got this gap right here. Now, it wouldn't be a problem if this was shaded. And that would be a mean and a z. Does everybody understand where I'm going with this? But I need to find that blue piece, so I'm going to have to get some stuff that I don't need to find what I need. And that's where you're gonna do a little basic math. Does everybody understand me? So, based upon how the shape looks, you can do this one or two ways. I use mean and z because it's a little bit more easier to visualize. I'm gonna use mean and z measurements because that's where my gap is, at my mean. Does that make sense? The reason why I'm using mean and z? Because my gap is at my mean line. I know, I'm gonna use some colors. Visual. Go back to the TV. I know that I can go on the table and I can find this piece. This gap would be, wouldn't this be mean and z for 94? Huh? Okay, what's that number? Don't answer my question. Is that mean and z for 94? Yes or no? Yes. Mean z. Mean z. Is that a measurement of mean and z for 94? Yes. Go give me that number. Point 3. Okay, I gotta make that smaller because that look like a blood. That ain't gonna work. Point 3. 2, 6, 4. 82.
32. I don't know what he's talking about. It's 3 and 8.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah. Never mind. My bad.
Hey, let's look at this.
My bad.
Okay, she gave it to her right. Point 30. I don't know what he's looking at. 3264. That's this measurement, okay? Now, I also can go and get mean and z, and it would be the mean and z to 2.5.
493. Point 493. I don't know why.
Point, make my pen smaller. 4938. Okay? Now I need you to visually see what I got going on here. I have two measurements I can get. I can get this orange piece that I don't need now. And I can get the green piece, which includes the orange and blue. Now I need blue. So I'm going to do what? Subtract it. Very good. Do y'all see why I need to subtract? I'm trying to be very colorful. No? Yes? Man, you looking at me funny. You see it now? No? From here to here, the orange and blue, that's really green. I just didn't color it because I wanted you to still see the orange and blue. Okay? All of that is 0.4938. I don't need that orange piece though. But that's on the table. I had to use what I have. Does that make sense? So if I take the orange piece off of this green, wouldn't that leave me the blue? Yes, no? Man, why you give me bad faces?
I'm sorry. I just don't.
You're killing me.
Just explain it one more time.
Okay.
It just looks like a zebra up there. I can't see what you're saying. I don't know.
So when it has
Today.
the sun is gonna drop.
Not today.
Yeah, once that's all that.
Number 2, we're keeping the same mean, same standard deviation, but I'm changing where I want to find the percentage between 120 and 145. How many people have an IQ between 120 and 145? So make some z-scores. 120 minus 100 divided by 16. You should get 1.25 on the dot. $145 You got 2.8125. Two decimals. 2.81. We good for that one? All right. So we got 1.25. And 2.81. Now, that's still meaning Z now. I'm not using tail. I could, but I'm trying to be consistent. If I start switching up methods, I don't need that. I don't need them problems. And you don't either. Okay? So we going to keep it meaning Z. No, but I mean, you can use one method on all of, like,
Oh, okay.
one type of measurement on all of them.
Okay.
So we gonna keep it meaning, see? Cause your tail is really not all the way shaded, technically. Does that make sense what I'm saying? You in the tail, but you're not all the way shaded. It is.
The total is .4175.
I got it. Would it to be .1031? That's what I got.
So if
Alright.
10.31%. Let's see.
See, look at that. We got it. We getting it. See, thank you, Mr. Kyle. You pray for us.
Awesome!
Give me a little blessing.
Awesome! Y'all better keep this up now. Y'all, 10.31%. Everyone understand why we subtract? I did the same colors. I didn't even switch it up on us. The whole green. I don't know why I was trying to stick it on the same slideshow.
I don't need to make faces.
I'm glad you make faces. Let me know you don't understand what I'm saying. The whole thing is .4975.
Can we do the next one by ourselves? See?
Sure. Savannah H.
It turns out to be like 0 over 16. I don't know what we do then.
I need you to think. Think. I want y'all to think. Think. Think.
I have a question.
Oh, that's looking
I already got past the first part, but on the second part, you said there's three numbers. It's like
What happened?
it's the mean in both of them, or the average of two numbers. So what do we do? C and D. Like on the 130 minus 100 over 16, it's 1.875. And you said there were three numbers. It was an average. Didn't you?
Okay, you going too deep for me. Oh, no. That's no. That's not the same. That's not the same
So
thing.
do I just do 1.87 for my D score?
I'm not asking you to find no means right now. I'm asking you to give me the Z score.
Yeah.
So you can round that. That's you need to round that, baby.
Okay. That's all I had a question.
Since y'all want to work it by yourselves. I mean, she said she don't know who said that. By working by yourself. She made it sound like that was just a bad idea.
So this means Z.
So it would be
This means
46 point.
Yep.
I mean, everyone said no, so I didn't know if everyone was doing it. So I was like, I don't know what to do.
100 is your mean. Okay? So I shouldn't have to convert that because all means are 0. That's the middle. Okay, that's the middle. So you don't have to show me the conversion because that's going to be 0. Okay? So technically I'm really just going to convert 130 because I don't know that one. So 130 minus 100 divided by 16. And y'all tell me you got a decimal of 1.875. Now, don't get this confused with the special case where I asked you to find the matching z-score with area, okay? Right now, you got to round your z-scores in order to use this table. Does everybody understand me? So, it originally is a special measurement, but they ain't got nothing to do with this part. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? So, yes, you do need to round it correctly, and that would make this z 1.88. Does everybody understand? 1.88. So on your little bell, which mine ain't in the middle, there's your 0, and the other number is 1.88, which would be somewhere out here. So I'm asking you for this measurement. I'm asking for 0 to 1.88. So this time, and I'm glad, I'm so proud, you notice this is a direct mean and z. There ain't no gap on this one. There was gaps on the other one, other two. This is straight from the middle to a number, okay? So there is no additional math. You go to your table, find 1.88's mean and z number, and that should be 0.4699. Okay? And so all I need is the percent, which is just 46.99%. Awesome. Does that make sense?
I still have trust issues. I still did 0. I mean, I still did it.
He said trust issues. Did you not say trust issues?
I got trust issues with myself, so I gotta, you know, I gotta do 100 minus 100.
I'm getting it.
And you see a 0. That's fine.
And I divided with 16 still.
No, you didn't.
I did
So I
it
sure
too.
did too. I got trust issues, man. I had no shit with 0.
I gotta put that. I never heard it say I got trust issues. That's neat. What you gonna say, man?
I still understand.
You understand it now. I'm so glad.
Like, you ever had trust issues on the test? You still did 2 minus 2, or like 2 plus 2 is 4.
Mm.
I feel it.
All right, let's try to do 4. And then you're gonna be on your own for the next 3.
3.
It's 2:36.
I said 1 at a time.
We almost say time. That's the reason. Four. Still the same mean, still the same standard deviation, but this time I want to know the percentage of people who have IQs less than 120. Less than 120. Now, you've already converted 120 on a previous problem, but you can do it again if y'all got trust issues. Just do it again.
I got trust issues.
Just type it back in. Don't want no problems. You got 1.25. So, do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. 1.25 will be right there. And it says it's less than 120.
So would you show on
Less than 120. Do I tell you when to stop? Less, 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 less. That's what? Bingo! That's a body shape. Yay! You went through the middle, all the way out through the tail, because I did not tell you when to stop. Does that make sense?
I panicked.
You panicked.
Yeah, I went to the.
What's wrong, Savannah? You have the look like you just done. Okay, baby. We almost done. We there. Let me get this number down. This would be 0.8944. And it's no math to do to that. 89.44% of the peoples have IQ less than 120. So do you see how I can bring in body? I also can bring in tail.
Can we do this for home?
Yeah, you are. When is this test?
I don't know. Next Tuesday.
The second,
I think next Thursday.
It's the second,
that's this Wednesday, it's April 1st, Monday.
so it's the second. So y'all, we have another Tuesday, Thursday. Because I have y'all's review sheets, but I didn't want to give them to you too early.
Next Thursday.
Because I give them to you Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and get my labs open because I know I ain't opened them yet.
Right, or gonna be a tail?